All right, one time for your mind. Dre Skrila on Versus Everything,
Gang, gang, baby.
blessing us.
Gang, gang, baby. We out here.
Dre, for those of us that don't know who Dre Skrila is, tell us who Dre Skrila is.
I mean, now I'm like the guy from the internet. I'm like hey, you do the funny videos and that, and I mean that's cool. I guess I'm just the content creator guy. Fuck,
Yeah.
I'm the GOAT, bro. What the fuck you mean? No, everyone knows who I am. You know what I mean? It's like yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just Dre to me. You know what I mean? But yeah, I make YouTube videos. I create content, and yeah, bro. That's it, pretty much. I know, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, like when I told a few people that I was doing a podcast with you, they knew right away who you were. You know, they follow your videos. They're like they brought up a lot of the videos, like particular videos that you've made. You know, like these things really stand out. A lot of people share them, and you know, like it spreads a lot of good energy out there. You know, a lot of good positive fun, so to speak. You know, especially at a time like this. You know, like there's a lot going on out there, and you know, like it's good to have. It's good to have that kind of thing in the mix, you know, especially with everything that's going on social media. How did you come to doing this?
Bro, so before I started, I was in jail, and it was like, so I'm like, fucking, like, so in my younger days, I'm like fucking around, being fucking doing wild shit, and then I end up going to prison. But then while I'm in prison, I start going through therapy. I do like a bunch of rehab inside of prison, and I started to, like, well, before I came home from jail, someone else, a friend of mine, was like, yo, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna do these videos. And I'm like, sweet, whatever, like, fuck, when I get out, that's not what I'm doing. I'm like going back out to see the boys. So that's what I thought, you know, that's what I thought I was gonna do. That was the plan. And then that dude gets out, he starts making videos and stuff, and then I'm calling him from inside. And I'm like, yo, what's up? Are you doing those videos? He's like, bro, I'm doing those videos, bro, it's on, fucking, like, I'm cracking it. I'm like, sweet. Like, how many followers you got? He's like, fuck, I've got 2,000 followers, bro. I'm like, fuck, gee, we're fucking famous, bro. We're on, like, 2,000 followers. Like, now it's like, you know, that's wild. But he's like, I got 2,000 followers. I'm like, fuck, we fucking cracked it. And then I get off the phone with him. I start ringing up my parents and shit. I'm like, yo, I'm going to start doing these video things as well. We're going to be fucking famous and shit like that. I was like, from jail. So this is the beginning of it. I guess there's a bit more to the story. Like I while I was in there, I started like, this was when I first started like writing down video ideas, writing down, you know, just plans, you know, plans on for coming home and what I was gonna do, and yeah, that was the earliest stages of it. So I planned it before I came home from prison, maybe like, I don't know, 8 months from release. Well, from parole. I didn't even know if I was coming home, but from parole. So I was like, sweet, I'm gonna do this video thing. Made the plan. Did a little bit of homework on everyone else that was doing it at the time. You know, like it was quite fucking planned out how I was gonna do it. Yeah. Went up to parole, got parole, and then that was it. Came home, make some videos, chucked them on Facebook. Like 60 likes or some shit. The first one or whatever. Thought I was the man, you know? Like I was like 60 likes. Now it's like, fuck. I don't know, 1,000 views or something. Thought it was on, bro, and that's how it all began.
Yeah, no, the rest is history.
The rest is history, bro. Now we're here.
How long have you been doing this so far?
Fuck, I've been, so like 3 years? 3 years, eh? Been doing for about 3 years, bro. So not long, super blessed, bro, for how quick it's fucking, like, fuck, bro, just hit the ground running, really. Yeah. But like I said, it was planned.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you're putting a lot of work into kind of making sure you strategize around this.
Oh, you have to, bro. Like, fuck. You know, like I saw a space in the, you know, on the internet, I saw a space where no one was really going, which was like my earlier videos, which is like the drug shit. The fucking, where I'm making jokes about, like, all the hood stuff, you know? So it's like drug dealing, whatever I was making jokes about. But I was looking around and no one was doing it. I don't know if no one just wanted to go there and touch that subject. But not only was I making shit about the hood shit, is it was like I was actually the guy that was like from the hood that was like, oh yeah, no, it's crack up because he's actually, it's not like just some fucking white dude like going, oh yeah, bro, and then I was just out with my mates and we're fucking making fucking selling tinnies or whatever, like everyone was like, oh no, this dude just got released. He's really, well, yeah.
Well, there's a sense of authenticity to this, like, and I think in New Zealand especially, because, say as compared to maybe America, because this is a lot of our stuff always gets compared to that, right? Like when it comes to hip hop, when it comes to comedy, anything that's to do with the street culture, because I think New Zealand is a lot smaller. You can't really create a persona, so to speak, that, like there's only so far you can go if you're not about the life.
Yeah.
Eventually you're going to be like, who the fuck are you? Where you from?
Yeah.
Like, and we'll know where you're from as well. It's not from somewhere back and beyond, like, like it's a small city. Yo. So yeah, in a lot of ways, like that, you can definitely feel the authenticity. And you're right, not a lot of people went there because there was also that kind of fear that you might get checked for it. Like I don't know if this is something that kind of went through your head when you were getting into it, but like to speak on the streets, to kind of touch any of those kind of subjects, there'll always be somebody that feels particularly patriotic about such things, and will and can come out and say, well, who the fuck are you and why you're talking about this? What you about? Have you come across anything like that and doing that? Because I know, like I know that you're a pretty popular guy by default. Like we know that because like you're a positive dude. You get along with with a lot of people. So you got a good positive character about you, but like nonetheless, have you ever come across anybody that was kind of really trying to like cut in on that?
Nah, man, I haven't, but I understand how fortunate I am that I haven't, because I know how easy it is for like someone to just make the wrong joke about something. But I'm also very thing about that too, is like, because I see other content creators that would make jokes about certain things that I'm like, bro, I know that you're not from that you're not from this life, because you'd never make that joke if you knew the consequences of saying something like that. So I'm particular in the jokes that I make, but I also just show love to the streets, bro, like before anything else. Because my thing in the beginning is what I was telling everyone around me is that, I was like, as long as the streets love us, as long as the hood loves us, fuck everyone else. Like, it doesn't really matter to me, because that was the only people that I wanted to make laugh in the beginning. I was like, fuck, as long as the boys are laughing, then it's funny. Like, as time progresses, it's more become a thing of like, it's less of, let's make videos for fun and hobby, because now it's like my job now. So now I have to sort of mingle in with the more like fucking commercial side of things. I have to start to learn the business side of things. So it's a little bit different now, but that was always the mentality at the beginning, was that if the streets love us, fuck, we're good. Because, like, in this country, the way that I see it is like, the streets is the ones who really make everything popping. Like, if they don't like it and shit, it's like, fuck, that's dumb. Like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's not going to get that mainstream appeal. Yeah, you're right. And that's the thing as well, is like that's the recipe. You kind of have to start. You have to start making it for us by us, so to speak. And then once it kind of starts to gain a bit of traction, that's when it becomes a popular thing. Because like it's always been this way with a lot of fashion, a lot of music, pop culture in general. It starts off kind of somewhere in the streets, and then kind of gains a bit of commercial momentum for people to actually start buying into it, and for it to become a viable thing, and for someone like yourself to create an opportunity out of it, because like in the streets, it's not afforded to people in that sense, like. I know you're from the west side.
Yeah, I'm from the west side, yeah.
I grew up in Onehunga. You might have seen I did an interview with INF recently from Switter.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, I love INF, man. Fuck, shout out to INF.
Yeah, he and I used to work together, so it's all it's all the same neighborhood stuff. Like, I'm a Russian immigrant, so I may not necessarily fit the visual demographic of only hunger sometimes, but I can probably put on a better Samoan accent than The Rock can. I went to Muscle in college. But like I understand what you mean in terms of that, and I've in the past I've come across a few hip hop figures that have had trouble with certain areas of the streets because of that, because they were started talking about certain aspects of them that
it happens, man. It
happens. And it created quite public problems for them as well. And I think it speaks volumes that you're not only making this content, but you can have the good sense of navigating these things, So I can really appreciate that. In terms of your beginnings, though, would you mind telling us what how everything happened? I mean, you mentioned you ended up in prison, and I've heard stories through other people. That everybody's told me about Dre. He's got a real good story. It's an inspiring story where you kind of took something negative and turned it into a positive. Would you mind sharing a little bit of that?
Yeah, hard. So like I said, the earlier stages, I was fucking around, man, where can I start? I mean, back in the days, it was a little bit different, just where I grew up in my neighborhood, it was a lot of gang culture. Everybody, the dude, where I'm from, the dude that everyone idolized was the drug dealer. The guy that had a job was never glorified, it was never, the kids weren't running around the neighborhood I want to be a builder. When I grow up, I'm going to be a scaffolder. It was everyone just wanted to be like this one dude, right? That was from when I was real young. Everyone was just drug users. My parents were drug users. They did an amazing job raising me. It was never my parents on drugs. It was fuck. Nah, they gave me everything. It was amazing. They did the best they could. I don't want to put any fucking dirt on their names, but that's part of my story. So I always mention it. But so everyone is just on drugs, but everyone's smoking crack, everyone's doing all that, this and that. So we're growing up through that, and as we get older, it starts off fucking tagging in bus stops, drinking in parks and shit like that, how it is, and then, as you get older, crime gets a little bit, but next minute you're robbing people, next minute you're doing this, next minute you're meeting someone, next minute you're dealing drugs, and then, in my case, next minute you're in prison. So I ended up getting older, and then I think 16, 17, for those from 16 up, I'm just addicted to crack, right? So I'm just smoking fucking crack every day. So I'm addicted to that now. I'm addicted to gambling, so I'm just spending, I've got too much money at a young age, so I'm just spending thousands at the pokies every day, just smoking heaps of drugs, drug dealing, all that sort of shit. I get caught for it, I go to prison, judge gives me 6 years, and I start getting charged when I'm 19, and then I'm on bail, and then I turn 20, and then I go to prison. I'm in jail for 21, 22, 23, but I did 2.5 years out of the 6, got my first parole, and then started planning all this video stuff for when I came home. But that's the gist of it, bro. It's just, I was trying to find my way, and the earlier stages is because that was the only role model that everybody looked up to. Well, for me, I thought in my head that's what I wanted to be. So all I'm thinking is coming up is fuck, I just want to be a gang member. I want to be patched up, that kind of stuff. Which is nothing wrong with that if that's what whoever chooses to do, do what you want to do what you feels right. But that's what I thought I wanted to be until I ended up going to rehab and doing heaps of therapy and sitting down with someone and them fucking, hey, let's see what the fuck's really going on with you, what do you, and then I realized, fuck, that's not actually what I want to do. I didn't actually want to be out here fucking hurting people, tying people up, doing, because my life was wild, and there's nothing to be proud of, but that's just, it just is what it is. That's just how life was for me coming up. So as I'm in prison talking with all of these fucking psychologists and shit like that, I'm starting to realize, I'm fuck yeah, now you're right. This isn't actually what I want to do. I'm in visit rooms with my fucking parents all the time, and I'm looking at them. I'm fuck this, mom. A significant part of when I was going to prison was when I was in the dock. When I was getting sentenced and the judge gave me my 6 years, but I was in the dock looking at my mum, and like my whole family was in the courtroom, but I was looking at my mum from the dock, and I'm like standing there fucking solid, whatever, I'm all good, chin up, but looking at my mum crying, you know, like fucking breaks my heart just talking about it right now. But just a real significant moment for me, because it was like it sort of was like a switch, you know, like when I saw my mum fucking crying, my nana and shit crying in the courtroom, when I was looking over at them and the judge like, fuck, 6 years, fuck off back in there, it was just like, I was like, fuck this, you know, like this definitely isn't what I want to do, so we've got to figure out another way. And in the earlier stages, if this video stuff didn't work, I would have just went back to that way. So I'm lucky that it did work. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I can see how that would have had quite an impact on you. I guess it's a good thing that it sounds like you kind of got onto that quite early on. It didn't take you, you know.
It didn't take the whole 6 years.
Yeah, no, it didn't take you. Yeah, it didn't take you time like that, because you know I know people that are like that. They go in and they're quite unrepentant about these things, and they still kind of. You know, they go further into their lifestyle in prison as well, because I mean, I don't know what your experience was like, but you know, for a lot of people, it seems to kind of only push them further into the lifestyle, because you know you're surrounded by nothing but that when you're in there. So in a lot of ways, you know, like it kind of pushes people even further. So the fact that you found this early on is, you know, it's a really good thing. And you know, now we've got Dre Skrila, now we got some positivity out in the world. In saying that, I see a lot of the content you do has like a tradie twist to it. Have you ever been in the trades?
Oh yeah, bro. I used to have a job. I got a job just not long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck, man. Everyone thinks like get 1 million views. Oh, bro, you cracked this. Like, nah, bro. Fuck, I think I did like 50 million views. Like, no money. So, man, when it comes to that sort of stuff, it's all a fucking. It's an illusion, man. But I had a normal job not so long ago. Last year, I was working last year. Yeah, last year I was concreting.
Yeah.
Laying concrete. And same with that, like it got to the point where like I could have left the job earlier, but I just stuck it out till the end of the year with the plan of like, okay, I'm just gonna stick this out, keep putting my money to the side so that I am fully safe for when I take off and just do this full time. Mm-hmm. So I started doing that. Yeah, I was working all the way up until last year, or to the end of last year, and then stopped and just was like, fuck it, let's just do this full time.
All right, so basically for the entirety of this year so far, you've been doing this. You committed to your craft, yeah? Yeah. Because
before it was just like a weekends thing.
Yeah.
Like it would be like I'd like write out videos or whatever and throughout the week, and then we would always be like, okay, Saturday we're gonna do this, or Sunday we're gonna film, try and make as many videos as possible, and then back to work, because the videos weren't paying in the beginning and stuff like that. So that was and that was all the way from when I got released from prison. I worked all the way up until the end of last year.
Did the lockdown affect your job much?
Oh yeah, we didn't like the COVID.
Yeah,
lockdown. Yeah, nah, I didn't work through that, but I was like fucking pumping out the content, like during that lockdown. So I think everyone was, but fuck, I just remember being like, fuck, I'm gonna pump the content. It was like, bro, the internet was just pumping. Like,
oh yeah,
it was one of the best. Fuck, I think I got like 10,000 followers during that lockdown.
Far out.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, I did a little bit of that myself during lockdown, just because that's you got to entertain yourself somehow.
Yo, plus it was boring as fuck. You're like, what am I gonna do?
You're locked up in the house. Like you do what you can, but at the end of the day, you still kind of. A lot of us started developing these alter egos. I did like a similar thing where I created me like these. Few characters, and I just fucked around and then put my thick Russian accent on and everything. But it's it's all in good fun. I mean, but for me honestly, I don't think I'm a funny guy by nature. I'm more of a deep dark philosopher type. But on the other hand,
you got the perfect voice for it.
But you yourself, see, would you consider yourself a comedian?
Fuck, I don't know, bro. Like, cause when I mean, look, I guess because I make people laugh, I guess I'm a comedian in that sense. But I just always think of like comedians as stand-up, like people that do stand-up for some reason.
That was going to be my next question. I'm like, would you ever consider doing stand-up?
Oh man,
I think you could do it.
I think I can do it too. I think I've definitely been like some of my mates are stand-ups and like they're amazing and some of the best in the country. And even they're like, you know, just give it a go. But I'm just such a if I choose to do something, I almost have to like obsess over it. And that's the only reason, because I'm doing so like all these other things here and there, and my mind's just in other places. It's like I can't give all of my time to it, you know? And I'll just hate to be like, oh, I'll go out. But fuck knows, you know, maybe I'm just making that thing up in my own head and just blocking my blessings or something. But
you know,
that's
maybe one day it'll be something, be like, all right, I'm going to put my energy into that.
Oh, it'll happen. It definitely will happen. I'll go out and try it, and yeah, fuck yeah, no, it'll be good. It'll be good.
Cause I remember, I think it was during that lockdown. I think it was a video. You might have shared the video of that car chase in West Auckland.
Yeah. I did the one and I ran out of the car.
No, like it was an actual car chase.
Oh, there's kids in the car.
Yeah, the kids in the car, and then
someone sent that to me.
Yeah. And I remember you were saying like, you know, they should call you and make you a news reporter, and then I think you fired a couple shots at some of the more mainstream comedians at some stage. I'm not sure whether it was over that video or something related to that, but I remember I think you might have been talking about Guy Williams.
Oh fuck! Yeah. I don't know. There would have been times I've said something about all of them, bro. Like, to be honest, bro. Like, but look, there must be people out there that think they're funny because they've got a career. But you know, for me, it's just like shit, like different humor and stuff like that. And it's, you know, you see them all over TV. Like, this is my thing, bro. Like, the TV networks just like, it's like a fucking. It's fucking like organized, bro. Like, they're in there going like, all these people are getting the jobs and none of these people are getting the jobs. I just have this own thing in myself off the fucking networks and shit, because they're always going on about, you know, they'll be like, have this dude over here like, oh fucking, oh my god, amazing, like we're gonna get this dude in on the fucking news, and he's did like, oh, he's got 5,000 views on the internet. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? We've been doing millions. Like, you crazy? But no one knows my name. I'm like, come on, bro, relax. You know, so I know how it works in that, you know, too, you know, it's all that kind of shit. So that's why I like, it's less of like a thing against the actual people. It's more just me like being a cheeky cunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, I know you're not kind of trying to, you know, fire shots at people directly, but I think I understand what you mean in terms of, you know, these kind of family-friendly kind of... I wouldn't even say the comedians themselves are that family-friendly, but they kind of almost molded into that once they start going mainstream through these networks, you know? So, like, even if they were at some stage funny, like, I think Guy Williams is a good example when you talk about that, because he actually, you know, he can be funny when he tries, but then... you know, he is still restricted by the fact that, you know, he's on mainstream TV.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, your kind of humor in a lot of ways, you know, like, if you get it, it's the shit. But if you're some, you know, grumpy old white lady in the middle of New Zealand, you know, you're going to have problems. You're going to go on Facebook and talk about how Dre's a heathen and, we should ban him and...
Also, shout out to Guy, bro. Shout out to Guy Williams, bro. I don't know if I said something, but if I did, fuck what? No, much love, man. Spread love, man. Spread love.
Yeah, nah. Well, in terms of that, actually, have you had many people try to start beef with you over what you do? Because I know, like, social media is a crazy place. People will start shit with you over like literally anything. You know, there'll definitely be somebody that's just gonna come at you and be like, "Really, man? Are you serious, man? Like, I just can't. Like, can you like?"
Yeah. But it's not. It's honestly, it's not often. It's not often that, like, I might get like a DM here and there, somebody saying something wild, but that's just standard, you know. Like, for the thousands of messages that I get, it's all good to get one like, fuck you, bro, I hate you, shit like that. It's
What,
like,
really? Like, it goes that?
oh, like, yeah, like so it'll just be, bro, but the thing is, like, those people that message me like, fuck you, you think you're fucking this and that, whatever, it's like they actually like all my shit, but I think they just wanted me to, like, reply and be like, yo, fuck you, so that they can be like, oh, yo, bro, yo, the man, bro, I love your shit, bro, I was just playing.
Yeah, I got a beef with Dre.
Yeah, but other than that, bro, like, nah, like, I haven't done the, like the internet beef stuff is, like, I don't know if it's, bro, like, I feel like, first of all, like, I didn't put that energy out on my platforms, like, because I feel like the people that have all of those dramas and stuff online is the people that put out that energy. So I think that's why it doesn't really come to me. Also, another thing is, like, fuck, I'll just tell people to get fucked. And, like, in real life too. You know what I mean? Like, we're just, fuck, it's just, I don't know, it's just different. Like, I'm not gonna go back and forth with someone over on the internet if it's like someone else that does what I do. Like, it's not gonna be like, oh, and then we're posting stories, tagging each other. Like, fuck, we're out in, you know what it's like. Like, we're out here. We're out here at all these events. Like, we're bound to see each other. Like, if it was really gonna go down, fuck, that's what it is, man. Yeah. But not that I fucking am like violence. Like, nah, none of that. But because it doesn't happen with me. I just try to spread positivity, bro. Like, just spread love, move around, be good to everyone, and yeah, it's just worked for me so far. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, in a lot of ways, this internet beef, it's kind of like, WWE type stuff where, like, I say shit, you say shit, it's this big beef, everybody's watching, and, and when you meet in person, it's kind of like, oh, nah, man, like, come on, this is just, like, this for the views, man, like, come on. Yeah, and and quite often it's like that, people kind of thrive off that, off the drama, it's in a lot of ways just kind of publicity stunting. So I mean, well, good on you for kind of choosing the better path, and still like I think it's also important to note that like you still managed to get that attention, you still managed to get the engagement without having to kind of resort to these kind of shitty tactics.
If you're good at your craft, bro, if you're
if
you're good at your craft, you don't need to do that sort of stuff, and you just don't need to do that stuff. And also another thing about it is like fuck, bro, like I've just been through so much shit that it's like it's such a mission to even make me upset about something to begin with, so a lot of people might be upset about certain things or something that someone said, but the thing is like, fuck, bro, there's like so much worse shit going on in the world. Like, just chill, relax, because we've all got it good here. Trust me, bro, like we've fucking all got it good here, bro. Like, we've just been back from like traveling everywhere, and fuck, like New Zealand, bro, this is like the land of opportunity for everyone, even the people that are a little bit less fortunate. It's fuck, just trust me, bro. We got it so good here that to be angry at like someone's fucking post or someone's story and shit, it blows my mind at this point, because fuck, man, can't complain, really.
Yeah. Well, and plus, it's going back to the consequences. You know what these things can turn out into, whether it be in the streets or whether it be some legal shit. Don't nobody want to deal with that. No. Your travels looked interesting. Where'd you go?
We're in Europe. So we're in Europe, London, Portugal, Switzerland, Croatia, and Amsterdam. Yeah, that's where we were. And then we were just in Thailand not long ago too. And
I saw the couple videos you made there as well about the guy with trying to sell you suits and shit.
Oh, bro, it's next level over there, man. I love that place, man. I love it over there. Beautiful country, beautiful people. Yeah, fuck, that was funny. Yeah.
Out of that most recent trip, what was like your favorite part? What was a highlight?
Probably Amsterdam, bro. Favorite country, right? At the moment, like, everyone that I talk to about, I'm like, Amsterdam, you gotta go to Amsterdam. Have you been?
No, I haven't, but tell me about it, because I'm interested. Like, every time I hear about it, it's always, weed and shit like that.
Yo,
like,
it's like it's like a fucking, it's like a different world, bro. It's like, man, fuck, it's just mean. It's like, like the weed, fuck, I was over there, I was doing mushrooms and shit. I got stoned. I didn't smoke weed, but I was over there. I was like, we're in Amsterdam. I have to get stoned.
So we went to one of those like cafes and yeah, got stoned and shit, buzzing out around the town. But it's just like a amazing country where, yeah, bro, it's just a whole different world. It's almost like it's like a game almost. You know what I mean? Like you're inside of a video game. It's just like, what? Like no rules and shit. Like there's rules, but just different. Fuck, it's just so, I can't even explain it, bro. It's fucking awesome. So Amsterdam's amazing. Croatia's beautiful. All these countries are beautiful, bro. They look like, you know the Instagram pages when people share those like reels and the photos and shit? You're like, what the fuck? And it's like some beautiful coastline or something. That's exactly what it looks like everywhere in Europe. Yeah, it's amazing. So it's fun. You gotta go, bro. You gotta go.
With Amsterdam, do you think that the reason why it is the way it is because all these things are legal there?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yo, definitely, bro. You're like on mushrooms buzzing out, but so is the rest of the country. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
everyone's like, fuck.
So mushrooms are legal over there?
Yeah, mushrooms are legal there. So, they like sell them pretty much on every corner. And they do it really well. Like, they would never, like, you know, so people aren't just fucking overdosing or whatever. Like, nothing like that. They kind of give you exactly what you need. Like, I was like, oh, I've never done this. Have you, like, what's good for me? And I'll be like, oh, yeah, sweet, here, take these. Like, just do this much and you're going to be all right. You know, I'm like, they could almost tell you what you're going to see, bro. Like, they'll be like, you're going to hallucinate and see fucking fishes with, like, fat heads. Like, you know, you're going to be like, what? You'll be like, what the fuck? And I'll be like, yeah, the fish is going to be red because you're taking these ones. And fuck, it's pretty mean, bro. It's cool. It's an experience. But yeah, man, it's just different, bro.
Do you think that, like, if all this was legal in New Zealand, how do you think
Fuck,
New Zealand
way
would be
better.
like? Yeah?
Yeah, well, bro, New Zealand's fucking shit, bro. Like, straight up, bro. Honestly, like, fuck. After I've been traveling and that, it just makes me realize how fucking trash New Zealand is. And another thing about New Zealand is, like, we just got too many rules, bro. Like, the government's fucking shit. They just baby everyone. And, bro, I feel like how I said, like, they've got no rules. That's not what I meant by they got no rules, because they've definitely got rules and laws and shit over there. But they've just got less rules. I feel like our government's just like, don't do this, fucking drive slower, fucking do this, like they're almost gonna wrap us in bubble wrap so that we don't hurt ourselves or something, you know? I'm like, fuck, bro, chill out, man, fuck. It's all good. Like, no one's talking about COVID over there and all that sort of stuff. Not that I'm like this big, like, oh, it's bullshit, like none of that sort of stuff, but it's just way more relaxed, bro. And you feel more like you're in control of your own life, you know what I mean? Because they talk about New Zealand as like the people that were so fucking free and we're free to do whatever. And this is the land of the free here in New Zealand. And it's like, fuck, not really. Not when you go over here and actually experience the world and you realize how free it actually is. It's like, fuck.
Well, you know, like that's a lot of the feedback I get from, you know, from people that come from overseas to New Zealand. We are quite heavily regulated. There's a lot of rules and laws, and especially I feel that, you know, obviously the whole COVID thing has kind of played into it quite a lot. It kind of, you know, set the foundation for like, okay, first we're talking about wear your mask, you know, social distance, do this, do that, and I think it almost kind of got people used to like being told like, okay, now you can now do this, now do that, now there's another rule, and you know, before you know it, like there's so much going on that I think, you know, there's a reason why I feel like there's a lot of tension in society right now. You know, I think this is, you know, like one of the reasons, and I mean, I don't want to kind of, you know, attribute it strictly to that, but I think this is one of the reasons why, you know, content like yours is popular and why it's important. You know, it plays a good part in why, you know, in how everything is at the moment, because people are just angry, man. People are getting pissed off.
Fucking nothing. Or you're like, what? Oh, bro, you're man, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, people are on edge, man. Yeah. People are on edge, and you know, like the further we go, every time you read the news, there's always some shit. There's, you know, it's the, you know, the cost of living, it's the prices, it's the interest rates, it's how unaffordable everything is.
Honestly, yeah.
It's
like, bro, it's exactly that. Like, bro, it's like it's funny because, you know, like in terms of that, like how like it's just like everyone's like there's so much tension here in this country. It's like when you go over to Europe,
It's funny because like you're almost seeing things like, you know, like no one's got masks on or anything, and it's like because we're from New Zealand, you're almost like conditioned to be like, holy fuck, like what the fuck, like there's just 1,000 people right now in this room and like no one's, and then you remember like, fuck, this is normal. Like what they're doing here is normal. Like what we're doing in our country is not the normal, but it's just like because we've been conditioned here to fucking think like that because they've just like, you know, mask, whatever. I don't want to get all fucking political if that's a word for it or whatever because, shit, man, I'm just Dre, what the fuck I know. You know what I mean? But hey, gang, baby.
Yeah, no, I feel you there, and you know, like I have a lot of friends.
Jacinda. No.
Actually, did you find yourself at the protest down in Wellington at any point?
I went down there.
Everybody went.
I went down there.
Yeah, how was that experience?
It was all good, bro. It was all good. Like I was just down there to fucking, like, I was just vlogging and shit. I was just down there vlogging and shit, man, you know. Nah, my thing was just like, everyone was just like, it was so pumping on the internet, right? So I'm like, I gotta get down there. Let's take a camera down there. And show some love, man. I'm just like, fuck, like, let's just get down there and see what these people have got to say. Pretty much. It was cool, bro. Yeah, I don't know about all these big riots and shit. Like, I didn't see anything like that when I went down there. But, yeah, I mean, it was all good. Protest.
Yeah, did you speak to many people down there?
Yeah, fuck yeah, I was speaking to heaps of people. I wasn't like going to people and like, oh, hey, what do you think about like this and that? I was just down there with the camera, and then as people would come to me, it was just like, I was sort of just like, what are you up to? What's happening? And shit like that, yeah.
Anything interesting really stood out to you?
Not really, bro. Like I get it. You know, they were all mad. They lost their jobs. I understand, bro. Like, fuck, I'd be mad too if someone was like, oh, there's this cold and, you know, bro, it's like, fuck. Like, bro, I'm gonna need to see people dropping, like, dead. Like, for me to be like, oh shit, this is real, I'm gonna need to see people walking the streets dropping dead. None of this, like, don't tell me that all this shit's happening, but you're looking at everyone and it's all good, you know? It's just, I understand, bro. If I had to lose my job to something like that, something that I worked my fucking ass off, you don't know if those people studied for years and years and years of their lives for that job that they've got. You're like, you never know, bro. So I understand why they would be upset. And for the government to just come in and make this fucking rule that, you know, you can't work anymore and you got family or whatever you're trying to do to survive, for them to come in and be like, nah, you're not going to do it anymore because of this and because of that. It's like, fuck it, I can understand. I'll be fucked off too. I'll be protesting too. I'll be on my camera. Ooh, you're going to get it. Fucking you're going to get it. I understand, man.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, you got the following to do it if you had to, so...
Yeah, bring it on, baby.
Watch out, baby. But then, you know, like in saying that, I've heard of a lot of people that, you know, kind of got into the crowd and they spoke to a few people and they, you know, like, and they found out that it was just normal people, and they kind of really challenged that narrative that was being pushed about, like, oh, everybody there is crazy. Like, you know, they always found the weirdest people in the crowd and filmed them, photographed them and put them on the front page of the news. Like, oh, look at these guys. They think, you know, Jesus is going to come in like in a spaceship or something like that. You know, but in reality, there was a lot of normal people that were just kind of pissed off about how society was at the time.
Hard out.
You know, and to some degree still is, because, you know, you still see these protests going on. There's been a few around Auckland. I think they're planning another one soon.
There was like that walk that was just not long ago
on the motorway.
Yeah. We were overseas at the time, but we were just seeing the headlines. But yeah, fuck, that was big, like a big ass walk. I don't know what that was for, but shout out to you. Stand up for yourself.
Yeah, no. From what I understand, it was Brian Tamaki again. That guy's always starting trouble. Yeah,
fuck. That's my bro.
Yeah.
No, I don't know him.
No, I don't know him.
No, I don't know him.
Fuck,
we should get dinner or something. Brian, brother. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know much about what goes on with him and all of that sort of stuff, but they're always protesting, eh?
They're always protesting. That guy cracks me up, though. You know, like, he's kind of like, he's a priest, but he's also like an activist. But on the other hand, he's also trying to...
He's a thug.
Yeah, he's trying to keep a gangster. Shows up with, you know, like, he's got his rings and shows up on a Harley and shit. I don't know if he's still got the bishop patch he used to have. He used to ride around with a bishop patch.
Fuck, he's a fucking G, bro. Brian Samaki, man. Fuck, you need him on a... Honestly, that podcast, whoever gets Brian on a podcast, fuck,
epic that's gonna go
Oh,
off.
I wonder if you would
write that
actually,
down.
yeah, I wonder if you would actually agree to that.
I mean, he's got to sooner or later. There's got to be someone that's gonna come in and he, you know,
Would he do it for free?
I'd pay him. I'd pay for that. But you know, he's rich as fuck. Like,
Yeah, but
hey,
then it's like, yeah, he's gonna be like, my prices ain't low, son. Like, what you got?
fuck off, bro. He could get it, bro. I'll pay him definitely for an hour of his time.
Yeah.
It'll be so fucking, what's that word? Controversial, eh? You know,
Oh, it
that-
will be. Yeah, it
it's
will
gonna
be.
epic.
It'll be like, yeah, donations, tax free, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's got a lot of interesting views on a lot of things, not just politics. Like he talks about like sexuality and all
Oh,
this
for
other
real?
shit. Oh yeah, yeah.
I've never heard anything of him or anything. All I know about him is that he's just got like a fucking huge, diehard, like cult-like following that will just like stand outside of a prison while he's in there.
That
Going
kind of
crazy.
cracked me up too. Just sitting there like fucking Al Capone, and
Oh,
it was a
fucking
like Mount
crazy.
it was a Mount Eden from memory. Yeah. No, I mean the thing that cracks me up the most about him is I remember when the Christchurch earthquakes. I think it might have been the Christchurch earthquakes, where he said like the gays did it.
Oh shit, he's a wild boy.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
So
a
I mean, that's
wild
what I
boy.
mean. It's just
I don't
like
know,
we're really kind of we're really going off on the deep
Oh,
end with this
shit,
guy.
He's a wild boy, man. I don't. Nah, yeah. Maybe not. Maybe that's a no on that podcast.
Oh, I mean, hey, like it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's he's still gonna talk his
That's
shit.
that God stuff, man. Hey,
But it'll be interesting. Hey, anybody know Brian Tamaki?
Yo, fuck.
Either one of us.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
with the
Tell him to
shits.
holler, bro. Tell him to holler. Or get the shit going. All three of us.
Yeah, we'll have a little round table.
Fuck it, bro. Let's go, bro. Let's go.
Oh man, but actually with this whole religious stuff, when you were in prison, did you have a lot of people around you that were like finding religion?
Yeah, I know that a lot of people do while they're in prison. They like start doing all of the, the religion stuff. I didn't see too much of it, but although I was in, I spent a lot of, a big portion of my time in prison inside of a PI unit, like a Pacific Island unit in Spring Hill. So part of that is a bunch of islanders that, go to church and grew up religiously. It's just like Tongans, Fijians, Samoans, all the islands. And it's just, everyone's just in one unit. So a lot of the boys in there were all religious. And there's church every Sunday, things like that. So even I would attend that too. And yeah, it's a cool experience, bro, to see the boys in that, how they connected with it hard out. For me, I wasn't born into anything like that. My family's not religious, and so I wasn't, my parents were, my dad was 16, my mom was 18 when I was born, so, it was babies raising baby, no one was religious, is what I'm trying to say, yeah. So, I don't understand it a lot, but I understand how everyone does their thing for religious.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I mentioned it on one of my previous episodes, is I find that people that found religion in prison actually tend to kind of embody the more positive aspects of it than the, shall we say, the Brian Tamaki aspects of it, where you're where you talk shit about, people's sexuality and this and that. They just kind of take hey, you create a bit of discipline for yourself, you do all the good stuff that religion tells you to do. Yeah. Actually, one other thing I always wanted to ask you, how did you come up with the name? Who gave you the name?
Skrila.
Dre Skrila, yeah.
Well, Dre's my name.
Yeah.
So Dre's my actual first name, and the Skrila is, man, this question's been asked a lot, and I never have the answer for it because I can't remember. I can't remember what happened here, but I know that. When I used to tag when I was younger, I used to tag script, right? Script when I was younger, a teenager, and what I think is that
as I got a little bit older, was I kicking off this fucking white boy, bro? I used to have this mate, this white boy, and we used to tag heaps as well. And I think he started calling me Skrila. Unless I just made a joke one day about, I don't know, bro, I'm going to end up giving you some myth kind of answer about where this name came from. Bro, Brian Tamaki, bro, actually. Say that, yeah, Brian Tamaki gave me that name, so. I can't remember, bro, but I mean, I got it tatted on my neck, so it's stuck now. Yeah.
No, I mean, well, was it potentially maybe somebody misreading script?
I know that it was a spin-off of Script. Skrilla means money.
Yeah.
So that had a part of it too.
Yeah, because that's what I get.
Yeah, because that's what I get, baby. So that had a part of it. That was a part of it too. And I don't know, because it's been going since I was young now. We've been calling me that. I know that I started calling myself that when I started dealing drugs. So it probably did have something to do with because it was money, and I was like, I'm gonna call myself Skrilla. So I'm gonna do that.
Street name. So fair enough.
Yeah, bro.
In terms of like I've been seeing you've been putting together a studio and everything, so like you're really taking your craft seriously. You're trying to take things to the next level.
100.
Is there anything like in the pipeline like exciting that you want to share with us?
Probably just that as a whole. A studio that I'm creating for content. Also, like my partner's dance. She's gonna have a dance studio there too. Also, so she'll be working out of there. So that's cool for her. But yeah, man. Like at this point, like the jokes and it's funny. Like it's cool. I done the jokes. Like I made the funny jokes and shit. So I'm not over it, but I'm trying to just create something bigger than myself at this point. Because what you really want is like, you want a working machine, right, that works without you. So I'm trying to create something bigger than myself where it's like, because if it's always the Dre Skrila show, then I have to be everywhere, all at the same time. And it's just like, that's not how I see this happening. So at the moment, the goal is to just build something bigger than myself. The studios is like, I'm naming it something totally different, not even like connected to my name or nothing. Because for that fact, we got a podcast on the way that is just getting set up at the moment. Like, so we just got all the furniture and stuff like that for it.
Is this different to the podcast you had before?
Yeah. So it'll be different to the podcast that I had before. Rest in peace, Al, by the way. Much love. She passed away recently, and she was a big part of that first podcast. So much love to her. But it's gonna be a different podcast, sort of like a rebrand, a little bit different. But yeah, that's all we're working on right now. I'm doing a bit of acting and shit like that, so that's pretty cool. That's something new, and I'm excited for everyone to see that. I don't know how much I can say about that, but I'm excited for everyone to see it. It's a huge project, and it's fucking gonna be big.
Acting's cool, man, and I know how it works. You can't exactly just tell people what's happening until it actually happens. And quite often you have to wait for quite a while as well.
You have to wait, it's done already, but it's still, like you said, just have to wait.
Fair enough. But it sounds to me like you kind of, if it's not comedy, what other avenues are you exploring? Because I'm really curious now.
I want to be like, I just want to delegate, bro. Like I just want to sort of like, I'm just trying to build, like I said, bro, like I just want to build things around me. And like, obviously I'm still in the early stages, so I'm going to have to keep doing what I'm doing. But I would, like, if I had it my way, I would rather just give my ideas and stuff like that. And then that's what I'm doing, instead of like the fucking, because I'm just doing everything at the moment, like fucking just, fuck. So I'm lost in that question now, but yeah, I'd rather just be like, this has to happen, it's got to be like this, come and check on it, boom, 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 yeah, sweet, that's amazing, good work, team. That's how we do it.
Creative strategist.
Yeah, bro, like, what are they, like, creative director, nice. Shit like that, just all that sort of stuff, like, that's what I really want to do, bro, the business side and stuff, like, I love learning about all that sort of stuff, bro, like, fucking, but at the same time, bro, like, the biggest goal is, like, I want to be rich and famous. And like, I don't know, like, why not many other people say it enough, like when I hear people talk about, but I'm trying to be rich and fucking famous, bro. Like filthy rich, filthy famous. That's what I want to be, bro. That's my dream in my head.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's cool, man. Like you gotta have the personality for it, and you definitely do. And for you to kind of be able to publicly admit that, I think like it plays a part in kind of manifesting that too. Like my missus been getting me into this whole manifesting mess recently. I'm generally not into that, but I'm like, what, like I can dig that.
Yeah.
And man, like it's cool. It's cool of you to be able to admit that, to be open and honest with people. I see you doing pretty well with clothes as well, man. I've seen your merch just kind of get.
Oh fuck.
Yeah,
bro. Fuck, bro. Just. Oh man, just same as everything else, bro. I'm just super fucking blessed, bro. That everyone is just like shows me so much fucking love, bro. And bro, I just try my hardest to show love back. You know what I mean? Because the shit changed my life, really. Like, especially merch, bro. That shit fucking. That's like pretty much the backbone for me to be able to step out and chase all this other shit without having to worry about like, oh fuck, I can't. Like I could leave my job because of it. So, in a sense, it's like it's fucking. The people have really made me, and I make sure that I let everyone know that I'm so thankful and so grateful for all the support and everyone that's like fucking stuck by me and just believed in me, bro, because they really have fucking changed my life, even though it's for the people that might not think it, like, oh, I just brought a shirt, fucking $150 shirt or whatever, but bro, like they really really did change my life. So it's fucking crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's nice to see your brand get, out there.
Fucking amazing. I love it.
Yeah, it's a piece of you. And I can see it's a very, like, personalized approach that you have to that as well. How can you give me a bit of background as to how you came up with that imagery?
Bro, it's like, it's me, bro. Like, this is like... Because this was the thing, right? Before we made this logo, I was always thinking I was like, fuck, man, it's fucking a little bit like weird if I was to get a shirt and make people wear it and put my face on it or something like that. I was like, fuck, it's a little bit weird. Like, I didn't really want people rocking out with my face on a shirt. And then it was like, I started doing these I used there was like a Snapchat filter and it was a bear. And I just started making jokes and shit about like this bear and this moose. So that's where the bear idea came from. I was like, fuck, we should use a bear because this bear, Siope, is what the character's name of the bear was. Siope the bear. And I was like, fuck. Wow. It was around the same time we were talking about making a logo. So I was like, fuck. Let's make it a bear. And then I was trying to make it like, I knew I needed a logo, bro, because you just need a logo. You just got to have a logo, bro. And I knew that I needed a logo because it's like your stamp on everything, So we had the bear, and then it was like, it's just got like all my jewelry, my glasses. If they were to zoom in right on this little white line in the glasses, it actually says my name, but you can't see it on this, but when people see it on the computer or whatever on my videos. And yeah, bro, it was just like, because I was using that filter at the time, and it was a bear, bro. A little inspiration from like Lacoste, how they got the crocodile?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like a little bit of inspiration from them. So I was seeing that, I was like, fuck, let's do an animal. Just little inspirations here and there, and then just my own thing, my own twist. And I wanted to make it, like I didn't want it to be like something that only guys would wear. Like I wanted it to be a girl would wear this too, and it wouldn't be like, fuck, I'm not gonna wear that because that's too like a guy shit. It's a fucking cute bear with gold on.
Yeah, it's universal.
It's universal, bro. Yeah, that's the word.
Is it a headlamp on him?
That's a headlamp, bro.
Yeah, what's the deal with the headlamp?
The headlamp is like, because like my OG videos, like the real vintage Skrila was like all of the back on the gear skits. So it was like I always had the headlamp on.
Yeah.
And so that's like so that was like a thing that everyone always like knew me from the videos, like, oh, fucking the dude with the fucking headlamp.
Yeah.
And then it just stuck, and then yeah, we'll probably end up making headlamps and shit, but I actually haven't made those videos for a while because I went away from them. But yeah, bro, so everything has its own little story, but that's the headlamp, and that's why we put the headlamp on them.
Yeah, a little bit of a personal thing.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. You got something dropping soon, I saw. Tomorrow? You got some merch
We got
coming
these,
out.
bro. Yeah.
No, that's a dope hat. I was gonna say because I can see like your logo on the side there as well. Yeah.
So yeah, we got these dropping. Well, they would have already dropped by the time you guys see this, but yeah, no, we got these dropping tomorrow, and it's like I said, bro, super blessed. They're pretty much already gone. It hasn't even touched the fucking thing yet. It'll sell out. But something that's cool about dropping this now, how we've got the studio, is that people can physically come, like people from Auckland can come and pick it up and, you know, say hello and fucking kick it for a little bit or whatever, grab their stuff and then bounce. But yeah, we could never do that because it was always just shipping. But now that we've got a spot, you know, people can come through and say what's up. So yeah, that's fucking cool. That's cool. Yeah, because it's all about just trying to connect with your people, you know. And I'm always trying to figure out new ways to connect with everyone.
Yeah, whereabouts is the studio based?
North Shore in Takapuna.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, you gotta let us know where it's at. You know, I'm curious to see what it is now.
Yeah. It's still like it's in the stage of just getting renovated and that, but yeah, I'll give you the address and shit off this camera because everyone's out here robbing people and shit. And I'm fucking paranoid, because I know what it's like, man. I used to do that shit when I was young, and I got this thing, like I'm like, fuck, it's like a fucking karma, bro. Like someone's out to get me. I don't even like saying it on podcasts because I think some little cunt's gonna watch it and be like, I'm gonna get you, motherfucker. Hey, gang, you fucking assholes. Yeah, bro. Nah, Takapuna, bro. Takapuna. Yeah, come down, bro. Fuck, all good. Hard.
Awesome, man. Well, look, before I wrap this up, obviously, you know, like we've just kind of gone through this little journey together, you know, of where Dre Skrila started at, where he kind of changed and where he's at now, and, you know, the vision for where he's going from here. You know, and I've just feel like I gain a lot of positive energy from this conversation, man. Like it's,
brother.
You know, like it's nice. You know, like my the guests that I get on here, you know, like I have a lot of different people from different backgrounds, and the conversations are very different. But yeah, like I mean, this is one of the positive ones. I love that. I appreciate you coming through. For anybody that kind of finds himself in a similar situation perhaps right now, or anybody that might be kind of going through some things and thinking of kind of maybe following through on a positive dream of theirs the way you did, what would be something you'd like to say to a person like that? A little bit of advice perhaps, you know, from somebody that's gone through that journey.
Man, I would say that, you know, like, first of all, there's no better time than now to do whatever anyone is thinking about doing. There's no better time than now. And it's going to be hard. I get it, bro. It's like one of the hardest things for me was to come home from prison and tell all my friends, after I've just lived this one type of life, to come home and say to my friends, hey, look, I don't want to fucking be that guy I don't want to be a gangster anymore. I want to make funny videos. So it's going to be hard. And I would just say that, look, I understand, and it's always going to be hard to chase your dream. You know, it's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to be overthinking about what people are going to think of you. You know, it's a bit intimidating to share your dreams with people, and not everyone's going to understand. But at the end of the day, you know, you got to get the job done because nobody's coming to save you. So, yeah, man, gang.
I like that. One time for your mind, you know what time it is. I appreciate you coming through tonight, my man.
Nah, I appreciate it, brother. I love what you're doing here, man.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to see where it all heads to with this studio and what other things you get into, man. All right, all power to you.
I appreciate it, bro. Love.
All right, one time for your mind.